It's Tuesday, March 19th, 2024, and guess what, guys? The NCAA tournament starts today. Yes, it's just the first 4 games, but it's games nonetheless, and you know what that means? I've got some winners on the way for you guys. So I'm going to break down each one of those games for you, and maybe give you guys a little money line parlay as well, so this way we can cash in. This is the free 3. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living, back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Now, it's been a few days since I've been on the channel, had to take a few days off there, and then yesterday St. Patty's Day got to me. I can't lie to you guys, so no video since Friday, but on Friday we went 2-1. We cashed on Iowa State on the spread, no sweat bet there. We cashed on UAB and Texas Southern on a money line parlay, but then we also lost Ohio State first half team total, so we went 2-1 on the day. Year-to-date record you can see here, 109 and 84 on the year. March record still crushing it, 8 games over 500. You love to see that. And now March Madness is here. The brackets are here, baby. If you're filling out a bracket, if you want to join my bracket challenge, make sure you click the link in the description. Join the free Discord group. I'll also probably put the bracket link in there as well. I'm going to do some cash prizes, some giveaways as well. So you guys definitely want to be tapped into that. And as always, I appreciate all the love and support. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure to share this with somebody who is a sports bettor, so that way they can get all these March Madness plays. And if you did not tap into the live stream that I had on the show yesterday, make sure that you guys watch the live stream. It's on the channel. Me and my boy Shark Lark, we were on Twitch and YouTube Live. We broke down the entire bracket. Literally went through all the games, upset alerts, who we think was going to make the Final Four, what coaches you want to look out for, what matchups are really key. So make sure you guys are tapped into that stream. We went for 2 hours breaking down plays. So a lot of value, a lot of content, and a lot of winners that are given there. And at the end of the video, we gave out like our 12 best bets of the first round. So make sure you guys tap into that. But for today, I'm going to break down these first 4 games. Let's get into it. For my first best bet of the day, we are going to head to this number 16 seed matchup between the Howard Bison and the Wagner Seahawks. These are probably 2 teams that you guys don't know too much about, but let me give you guys a little bit of insight on both of these programs because I've actually watched both of them this year. Now, Wagner was a 6th seed in the NEC conference, and they were actually able to upset 3 teams all on the road to get here today. So it's actually pretty impressive to see what the streak that they were able to go on, especially when you keep in mind that this team has been battling injuries all year. They've been resilient. They fought through adversity. They've literally lost half of their roster. 6 of their 13 scholarship players have season-ending injuries by December or by Christmas time. So this is a team that's literally playing on life support, and they've been playing on life support for like the last 2 months. But again, they were able to pick up 3 road wins because the conference tournament in the NEC, the higher seed gets the home game, and they were able to get here today. So now, because of the injuries that they've been dealing with, this team only has a 7-person rotation, which just makes them very light, in all honesty. Now, when we look at Howard on the other side, they fought through some injuries as well to be able to get back to the NCAA tournament. They were there last year, the first time in program history. Well, this year they ran it back. They did not have the best of the regular seasons, but they got hot at the right time, were able to win the MEAC there. And 4 of their rotation guys that were supposed to play this year, guess what? Out for their postseason runs with injuries. They also lost a few other guys due to transfers. So because of that, both of these teams are banged up. Both these teams are not at 100%, or at least the teams that we thought we would be getting at the beginning of the season. And because of that, I think it's going to be a slower paced game, and we're going to go with the under 128.5 minus 110 odds. Now, the under is the play in this game. I know the line has moved to the over, but now it's at that point where I have to take the under. Now, like I mentioned, Wagner is a team that's playing on life support. Only 7 scholarship guys do they play because of injury, and because of that, they play extremely slow. Ranked 361 in terms of tempo on KenPom, so that tells you how slow they play. That's the 2nd slowest in all of college basketball. So because of these injuries, they struggle offensively, only ranked 334th in offensive efficiency, 353 in effective field goal percentage. They don't shoot the ball well from the 3-point line, only about 31%, so that's 291 in all of college basketball. And they shoot it worse from the 2-point line, 358th in all of college basketball. So this is not an offense that's going to put up a ton of points on you. Their goal is to grit and grind their way to wins, and because of that, not only do they face a lot of zone defense because they can't shoot that well, which also slows down the game, but they also run full court press at the 7th highest rate in the country. But it's not a pressure defense where they're looking to turn you over. It's more of a token pressure defense. So now you have to make several passes before you get into the offense, and now you're starting your offense with like 20 seconds left to go in the shot clock, which again slows down the game. So for me, this is just a matchup here where the Seahawks are going to know, hey, we don't have the amount of guys to be able to put up points to keep up with this team. team, especially with this Howard Bison offense. So because of that, we're going to look to slow it down. Now, Howard on the other side, they are a team that can score the ball. They do have some different pieces there on the offensive side that can really be dynamic, ranked 192 in offensive efficiency and then 105 in effective field goal percentage. But their problem is they turn over the ball a lot. 354th in college basketball in turnover percentage on the offensive side. That's bottom 10 in college. And they also suck on the defensive side of the ball, 334th in defensive efficiency. So for me, I think the difference in this matchup here is you got one team that sucks defensively, and then you have another team that cannot score offensively, but it's going to look to control the tempo and pace. So I'm just not expecting a lot of points in this matchup, in all honesty. And then also keep in mind here that Wagner is going to try, like I said, to slow it down, make it muddy, because that's what they did in the NEC Conference Tournament. They 6 straight games for Wagner have gone below 130 points, and the highest scoring game in the NEC Tournament for them was a combined total of 116 points. So they went under in literally every one of those games. So for me, playing on a neutral court, a lot is at stake here, pressure situation, playing in the NCAA Tournament. You're starting off the tournament the right way, but we have a low number for a reason here, so I'm not overthinking it. I think pace is what's going to matter at the end of the day. Howard should win this game. You can lay the 3.5 if you want to, but I'm going under 128.5 here, as Howard's going to look to shoot a lot of three-pointers, ranked 19th in college basketball in the three-point lane range. But like I said, Wagner runs that full-court defense, and they also run a good amount of zone defense as well, and I think that's going to be one of their ways of kind of pushing Howard off of the perimeter, and they want to make this a muddy game and slow it down. So give me the under 128.5 as our first best bet of the day. Now for my second best bet of the day, we're going to go to the second matchup between the Virginia Cavaliers and the Colorado State Rams. And you guys probably know who I'm going to take, because we've taken Virginia several times this year on the show. And I'm taking them here at plus 3.5, minus 125 odds. Now, if your book has it at 2.5 or 3, buy the hook up to 3.5, because I think that this is going to be about a one-possession game. KenPom has this as a 2-point win for Colorado State. I'm going to personally probably lay a little bit of money on the money line, but I'm going to try to grab Virginia a little bit more points live. Now, this is a matchup between two teams that are also going to make it real ugly, have a real low total in this game. It opened up at 118, now it's up to about 120 or so. I do think this is a game that goes under as well, but I think the advantage lies with Virginia here. Now, I know Tony Bennett is not always that good in March. He actually has the second lowest winning percentage against the number of any coach in the field. The only coach who's lower is Rick Barnes, the coach of Tennessee. So I kind of get that. But this is the thing. Virginia has been in this situation before. They won the national championship 5-6 years ago. They struggle offensively to score the ball, but they're one of the best teams in the country at allowing their tempo to control the game. Ranked 362 in adjusted tempo, so you know that's the slowest in all of college basketball, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. They have the 7th best defense in all of college basketball, 14th in effective field goal percentage on the defensive side, 18th in three-point percentage on the defensive side. So they're going to force Colorado State here to have to hit some tough shots and have to play their best basketball. Now, Colorado State can play 42nd in offensive efficiency, 38th in defensive efficiency, but they're also a slow-paced team as well, 270th in adjusted tempo. So again, this is why I like the under. But because we have a low total and 3.5 is not that many points and the line is already moved in favor of Virginia, I think we're getting good value here at 3.5 points, because I think it comes down to the buzzer. Now, keep in mind that this Virginia team lost to NC State in the conference tournament, but that was really due to the fact that they did not foul when they were up by 3, and NC State hit a buzzer beater, a bank shot to tie the game to go into overtime, and that's where they lost. They were one possession away from possibly being able to go to the ACC championship, and this would be a completely different game. They would not be playing in this playing game, and for me, I think this is a Virginia team that just has a much better strength of schedule and body of work, and now they're going against a team in the Mountain West that, I mean, Colorado State is good. I think there's just personally too many teams in the Mountain West in this bracket this year. I think there should have been other teams that would have been able to get in. So for me, I just think that the fact that Virginia has played games against Virginia Tech, one against Clemson, one against Florida State, one against Wake Forest, one against Boston College, on the road and in the tournament. They've beaten Syracuse, they've beaten Texas A&M, they've beaten Florida. So these are all teams that, again, I know Virginia struggles offensively, and I know that's going to be what every handicapper is talking about, like, is Virginia going to hit shots. They don't need to hit shots if we have a total at 120 and they're able to keep this thing underneath 60 points. There's another bet that you can look at if your book has it, is neither team to get over 70 points. I think that's a pretty good look as well for you to take a look at if your book has that. It's kind of like an alt bet that not every book has, but I think this is a matchup here where we're getting too many points. I'm going with the team that is more veteran, that has the veteran coach, that's been in this situation before, and I think Colorado State, they show some susceptibility in their conference tournament when they lost to New Mexico. Now, they beat San Jose State, which is not really a good win. They beat Nevada, which, okay, I get, but when they played on the road this year, they've only picked up 2 conference wins on the road this year, and that was against Air Force, which is not that impressive of a win, and Fresno State, which is not impressive of a win. 2 of the bottom teams in the Mountain West. Now, I will say Colorado State has been able to play well at the beginning of the season on neutral sites. They beat Boston College on a neutral site. They beat Creighton on a neutral site. They beat Colorado at home. They beat Washington at home. So we've seen them pick up some wins, but when they played St. Mary's, a team that's very similar to me defensively and offensively as Virginia, they lost that game 64-61 at home. So for me, give me Virginia here. I think Virginia wins this matchup. I'm taking the points. You could sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I'm not overthinking it. Give me Virginia as our second best bet of the day. For my third best bet of the day, I'm going to give you guys a lock for Thursday, and I want to put it in now so this way we can get the points value on it. And we've got Akron playing Creighton in the first round, and I'm taking Akron plus 12.5, minus 110 odds. Now, this is just way too many points for this Akron team, and I get that the fact that they were going against Creighton, that's a team that a lot of people have had in their Final Four, they think can make a deep tournament run, which they can because Creighton is a good squad, but I just think this is way too many points for an Akron team that is very experienced in this situation and in this position and has the talent to match up with Creighton. Now, keep in mind, Akron was this close of not making the NCAA tournament when Kent State fouled them. Kent State was up by 1. I don't know if you guys watched that game. They were up by 1 with like 6 seconds left to go. They hit the shot to go up by 1, and then somebody on Kent State fouled a dude from Akron thinking he was down, and then the guy went to the free throw line and hit both of the free throws to now get them back to the tournament. So for me, I think Akron understands they got by the skin of their teeth, and they're going to play this game with some extra motivation and some inspiration here. Now, there's a 1:30 tip-off on Thursday in Pittsburgh, which is only about a 2-hour drive from Akron. So because of that, I think there's going to be a lot of fans in the building there to support this team. Now, also keep in mind, the last time Akron made the NCAA tournament was 2022, and they almost beat UCLA in the first round. So, and I know almost doesn't really matter, but again, they were competitive against a really strong team, and a lot of the members on that 2022 team is returning to the tournament this year. So I like that experience in this matchup, and I also think that Akron has played pretty good teams this year out in their non-conference that has prepared them for this matchup. They lost to Utah State by 3 points. They lost to UNLV by 2 points, and again, they were competitive in that matchup. Now, Akron can match up with Kalkbrenner, the big guy for Creighton, as they have Enrique Freeman, who's 6'7", he's averaging 19 and 13 on the year. They've got Sammy Hunter, who's a 6'9" senior, so these are all guys who can literally go at Kalkbrenner, and they also have Tribble, Ali, and Dawson, who all played on the 2022 team. They all played 20-plus minutes. They have several seniors on this team, and they play the 94th slowest pace, which I think can throw Creighton off their game. We know Creighton's looking to shoot a ton of threes, where they live and die by the three, which in tournament time can be a hit or miss, but Creighton shoots the 6th most three-pointers of anyone in the league. But guess what? Akron guards the three-point line very well. 14th best three-point defense, and they also rebound the ball well. So I just think this is way too many points here for an Akron team that's a little bit undervalued here. Do they win the game? I'm not going to go that far, but 13 points, way too many points, especially when you look at a Creighton team that lost in the first round of their conference tournament to Providence. They've lost to other teams like UNLV, Colorado State, Villanova. So for me, I think this is a matchup here where Akron should be able to stay within 13 points. So give me Akron plus 12.5 on Thursday for our third best bet of the day. Lock that one in now. Now, our final best bet of the day, I'm going to give you a little bonus play, guys, and it's a money line parlay, and we're just going to take Howard on the money line, and we're parlaying that with the Pelicans on the money line, a little two-team cross-sport par here. That gets you to plus 110 odds. Like I mentioned, I think Howard's the better team of Wagner. Wagner barely escaped their conference tournament. There's a credit to them for getting here, but they just struggle on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. I just don't think they have enough talent to get it done. Howard has the better players. They have the more experience. They have a few transfers that's played at higher levels levels of D1 ball. So I'm just going to take Howard to pick up the win here. I think they're minus like 175 on the money line, but like I said, I'm not opposed to you laying the minus 3.5. Now we're just going to parlay them on the money line with the Pelicans here, who are taking on the Brooklyn Nets. And the Brooklyn Nets for me are just in auto fade mode. I mean, they suck. I don't know how else to put it for you guys. This Pelicans team is in that competitive Western Conference right there. Right now, they're 5th in the West and 1st in the Southwest, but they're going to have to keep winning games to keep up with that pace, and they've been on a hot streak of lately. They beat Portland. They beat the Clippers. They lost to Cleveland, but then before that, they beat the Hawks, they beat the Sixers, they beat the Raptors, they beat the Pacers. So they've won several games over the last 2 weeks or so, and I think that momentum carries over in today's matchup as well. So I'm not overthinking it. Just give me Howard on the money line. Give me Pelicans on the money line. Brooklyn has been struggling. They've lost 3 in a row to the Spurs, to the Pacers, and the Magic, and this is a Pelicans team that's better than all those teams, and they've dropped 5 of their last 6 games, including losses to Charlotte and to the Pistons as well. Again, these are bottom barrel teams in the NBA. If you can't even beat them, I'm not expecting the Pelicans to lose today's matchup in what is a very competitive Western Conference. Just give me those 2 teams on the par to get it done. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 4 best bets that I put on the card for you guys. Give me Howard and Wagner under 128.5. Give me Virginia plus 3.5. Give me Akron plus 12.5 on Thursday, and then also give me the parlay with Howard on the money line, and then we're going to do that with the Pelicans on the money line to tuck us in at plus money value. For more best bets, picks and plays, and other angles that I'm taking throughout the day, then click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and I got y'all. All right, my friends, see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully you guys are filling out that bracket because it's about to get juicy, and I can't wait to see who you have in your Final Four and winning your championship. Let's get after it, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's get to that cheddar.